Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boyz Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Well, whatever.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Jersey Boyz Podcast, coming to you right here on the Premier Podcast Network and, of course, the Chop Sports YouTube channel. It is your boys, Dave Sturchio, alongside nationally known comedian Bret Ernst and the Grinch himself, back in business after his Hunger Games outing. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Keith Ernst. Keith, how we doing, pal?
Good, man.
What was that? What was that yesterday? What was the?
Well, it was the premiere for the new Hunger Games movie.
You're into it?
I'm working at Lionsgate.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I help with the premieres and stuff, so it was cool. It's a
Oh,
good
nice.
movie, actually. I'm not a big fan of the Hunger Games. I liked the first one, and then I liked the second one. I didn't like the second one. The third one I didn't even bother watching, but this is a prequel.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever given them the chance.
It's kind of I don't know, the Donald Sutherland character, which is like the main bad guy. It's his story. They're kind of doing an Anakin Skywalker thing, like they did with Star Wars.
I dig.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's pretty good. If you're a fan, you're gonna like it. I'm sure.
Hey, Dave, how does his sound by you?
Sounds good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, all good. Bret.
Echoey by me.
Yeah, Bret. How? No, we're good over here. So Bret, we decided to take out one of our own on Sunday. We beat the shit out of fucking Danny DeVito and the New York Giants. How are we feeling? Yeah. One of our paisans. How are we feeling after the beatdown of our cousin?
You know, it was a little depressing, especially when he did the whole thing where he's from Jersey. He still lives at home. His mom does his laundry and everything. Good Italian boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got to go down. I mean,
It is what it is. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Cowboys. Like me and Keith kind of predicted, slow start, little bit of the whole go for it on fourth, get stuffed, and then Dak throws a really nasty pick, and you're like, oh my God. All right, Keith, I'll ask you first. Was there any inkling of a holy shit, this could be a letdown game after the first couple drives where things just weren't looking as great as they turned out to be?
Absolutely not. And I'm just in awe of the panic that goes into little Sturch in these games when stuff starts happening like that. That's what was the wait, hold on, I got it right here.
The receipts. Here we are back at receipts day here. So I can only imagine what I say. What go ahead, Keith. Let the world know.
I fucking hate this fucking team. That's fantastic. Hold on. And then this is my favorite one. Ready?
Oh shit.
Hold on.
I can't. Nothing's safe anymore. Nothing's sacred.
I'm done. We're done. We took them lightly. Like the game's over. There's no response from me at all. I just get back and watch that.
No, I'm both of you, by the way. I thought, I understand that I'm watching the game with my brother and my father, my family's all at my dad's, right? We're having a good time, right? But I do rely on the group chat to kind of get me through and to maybe see something that I didn't see. You guys went fucking radio silent on me after Bret comes back. He's like, "Is Michael Gallup out?" And I was like, "No, he's on the field."
Well, I mean, is he even playing? And then he finally got a tug.
Right. So that, but then I heard nothing from both of you guys for the rest of the game. I guess there's no critical thinking to be involved in a game like this where we're just analyzing deep, but overall, I'm just like, oh man, where'd the guys go? So, anyway, let's break it down. I mean, look.
Well, another thing, my prediction was on point with the blowout. I said 38-6.
Well, I said 64 to something, and then I laughed after that.
Oh, stop. No, you didn't. You were joking. Trying to take credit for that. Hey, I actually watch your Instagram videos, all right? That was not your prediction.
No, I know.
But the whole thing is, which is weird, is I said 38-6. The final score was 49-17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, shake your head. What's 49 minus 17?
No, I was shaking my head at how bad we blew them out. I mean, we 32, almost put up 50.
49 to 39, 32.
Yeah, and what's 38 minus?
What are you getting at?
6.
He's saying he was still right in predicting a 32-point.
I also said you said 6. Brett said 3. I gave the Giants 13.
No, I said it was. Remember, I said it was
You said
30 to 17 or something.
No, you said 17-3 is what you were looking for.
Yeah, 17-3. No,
yeah.
well, look, I was right in a way too, where like I wanted us to
All
come
right,
out
fuck you guys, bro. Forget it. Let's move on.
play. Well, I mean, it's not about right or wrong.
Even my mom called me and said, you were exactly right with the score you said. I'm like, thanks, Mom. The other two are off, but go ahead. Pat yourselves on the back. I gave you the credit last week, Sturch. And I gave you credit, and I didn't give myself credit. But you guys just can't let it go.
First of all, who's not giving you credit? I'm not saying like, oh no, you're wrong. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
you're like, you predicted the Giants score 17. You predicted a closer game.
Yeah, I did, and I'm just
All
saying.
right,
I predicted that the Giants would score some points.
When you're predicting a game, you're predicting is it going to be a blowout or is it going to be close? That's it. That's pretty much what you're doing.
All right. Settle down there.
I mean, that's like if we won 38-34. If I'm like, see, I told you we'd score 38.
Yeah,
but I also said we'd blow them out.
All right.
It's generic.
Can I ask you a question?
Back, baby.
What is 2 touchdowns a blowout?
I think
anything. Go ahead, Serge.
I was just gonna say, I think the optics and the look of a score determine. This is gonna sound weird, but like, if it's 21-10, that's not a blowout because it's an 11-point game. But it's just like it sounds and feels like 21-10. You're getting fucking sparked, but you're not, right? Like, so a 49, whatever the fuck it was, 49-17. Like, yeah, that's an absolute slaughtering. Like,
especially with a garbage touchdown at the end.
Right. Right. Exactly. So I don't know, but a blowout.
Well, the thing.
Go ahead, Brett.
I was going to say, I mean, if 49, even if it was 49-20, that's a bigger
it's
blowout.
Almost a 30-point win. Yeah.
Yeah, but but it also it depends too, though, how the game goes, right? If it's like 28 to 21 with 10 minutes left, and then the team somehow gets 2 pick sixes in a row or something like that, yeah, it's a blowout, but
it didn't dictate what actually happened.
I mean,
yeah.
For me, it's pure domination the whole game, which this game pretty much was. Even though we had a slow start, there was never a chance, which I still don't know why Dable does not kick a field goal on that. That was the dumbest thing I've seen, that 4th and 3, and after they got the interception.
I mean, the way I see it is that Dayball is grasping at straws right now. His team was 2-7 going in. Let's just set the tone. Let's try to get some more points here. But when you're led by Tommy DeVito, it's like it's very hard for me to be like, oh yeah, no, they're definitely gonna get this. Like, what?
You had 3 yards, and it's like, dude, you got the momentum right now. You just kicked a field goal and go. Now you just completely shifted it,
right?
And we drive right down the field.
Yeah. So, in any event, it's not. There's only so much you could talk about in a game like this because of the fact that the Giants have completely imploded and they just look like maybe one of the worst teams in football right now.
I said, because I remember I said 17-3, but I didn't think we'd cover 15 points. But at the same time, what I thought we were going to do, we did. I just didn't know Dak was just going to be lighting everybody up. I wanted get the running game established, keep running the ball, do a 50-50, pass versus run. Dak just exposed they were just so exposed.
600 yards, 600 yards of offense the Cowboys put up.
That's a beautiful thing to see, man.
Yeah,
and this is 4 weeks in a row. Our offense really stepped it up. And, it was good to see them running like a machine. All right, Dak had an interception. That's going to happen.
Right.
It's okay.
It's football. We get it.
Yeah.
Like, when it happened, because it was in the beginning of the game, I was just like, oh, shit. I just felt like a little bit more timid than I would just because of the fact that it was early. Like, if it happens and we're up 49-17 and he throws a pick, then you're like, whatever, I don't care. You know what I mean? But, like, at the time when he threw that pick, I was like, oh, Christ. I was like, I didn't, the Giant, and only because I go back to what Keith said about the Giants, about this is their Super Bowl. They're going to come in there and play all these guys that don't get burned. They're going to get some time. And they did, right? So a couple of guys played well. I think this is not a Giants podcast by any stretch, but man, I almost feel a little bad for Saquon Barkley. I think that dude is very good at football. He's just on a very bad football team for his entire career now. He's never had a good team. Last year may have been his only shot to do anything, and he was like finally like a little bit healthy. But like this dude is like he's running behind a fucking offensive line that I should be playing on. You know what I'm saying? Like out of nowhere, like fucking Justin Pugh off the bench, literally, or off the couch. You know, like these guys have pieced
tackle too. The Giants, right?
Right. So it's like it just stinks. It just stinks to see such a talented dude. But couldn't happen to a better team.
I'll say about the what are you laughing at, Sturch?
No, I just said it couldn't happen to a better team. Like, like I don't give a fuck.
Keith was ready to argue with everybody. He's like, what's so funny? Like what? We're gonna change Keith from the Grinch to Joe Pesci.
Yeah, right. Funny how? Funny.
Why are you laughing, Brett? I just was laughing because we put 40.
I know there's something funny going on. I mean, I don't know. I thought I missed something. That's all.
No. Yeah, seriously, calm it down over there, Lionsgate.
Like, I just want to remind us.
The guy goes to the fucking Hunger Games premiere. All of a sudden, he's gonna hit us with a bow and arrow or some shit.
So going back to the yards.
Yeah.
What was the biggest yards we've ever had recorded on total offense?
Ever?
Yeah.
So we put up 600.
Don't worry, I didn't know this. I found
it. Can I take a guess at this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Was it that when we played Denver and
Romo?
No.
That's a good guess, though. That's a very good guess considering how much.
We'll be saying yes because you'll never get it. It was in 1966. It was 652 yards. But here's the crazy part: we had 640. We're only 12 yards from the fucking record, man, in that game.
Do you know that?
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's the most total yards we've seen. All three of us as Dallas Cowboy fans in a game.
And the other thing is we pulled our starters too.
Dak didn't play the fourth quarter. He didn't play it down. He didn't play
here's something else. Listen to this. So it was 640 yards to 172 yards, right? There was a 468 total yard difference. They said it's the largest differential since 1979.
Any team?
Of any team as far as yards goes.
That's called domination.
What was our time of possession? I'm just curious to see.
No, complete domination too. I looked. It was
I want to just see how long we had.
We had
the ball.
32, and I think they had 14 or something when I looked.
Okay.
Or something.
So 30. That's all right. 32 minutes in a football game. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I was gonna say if we did it in like 18 minutes or 19 minutes,
it's like a fucking track meet.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But dude, you got to think the Giants' defense was not that bad either. They were just on the field constantly, and as I say, you can't. I don't give a fuck. Well, I guess maybe you have the exceptions with defenses, and their defense isn't great. Or I mean, they're an above-average defense. I think the Giants. I don't think they have a bad defense. It's just they were tired.
Well, their secondary was, like I said, was exposed, man, and Dak just picked them apart. Look, Pollard ran pretty good too. I mean, granted, he got a lot of his yards when they were more tired.
Yeah.
I do love the Rico run star, man. I mean, again, we talked about it last time, because Zeke has been eating. Zeke has been doing really well in New England.
He looks fresh over there. That's for sure. For a dog shit team that he's on, he's like, it's good for him. Just to clarify, 37.
But to have Pollard and Rico again, just like Zeke and Pollard, I mean, it is a good tandem.
37 minutes, guys. 37 minutes to 22 was the time possession. So
15 more.
Yeah. So the Cowboys had the ball a statistical quarter more, like a football quarter more than the Giants. That's now, fucking nuts. Just to say, because everybody's like, oh, we like to beat up on the bad teams. Hey, we could have, not that we could have, we should have beat the Eagles. I mean, that was a heavyweight fight. Again, this is really promising to me going into the second half of the season. Just seeing the way the offense was functioning. I mean, they were doing everything they needed to do, man. And, even the O-line played pretty good because the nose tackle for the Giants, again, I don't know his name, but that kid's good. Dexter Lawrence, or is he defensive end?
No,
Dexter Lawrence is good.
Well, I'll tell you what, not for nothing. Brett just mentioned the offensive line for the first time, maybe in I don't know how many games or recent memory, but Tyron Smith didn't let up a pressure. Like Tyron Smith was bullying those motherfuckers, dude. Like he was finally coming into his own again as to, being able to take care of his side of the field, which again, you're just waiting for the impending big tree fall hard injury. But like for somebody who's been so banged up this year, for him to come out there and do what he did, that speaks volumes too, I think.
I would say too that, in the Giants defense, we're talking about, we're slaughtered. Yeah, we've slaughtered. I mean, look what we did to the Jets defense. Probably the second best defense in the NFL next to Cleveland. I mean, we put up 30, how many points? 38 points or whatever, 30. I mean, it's just when our defense is clicking and shutting offenses down, you know what I mean? I also want
to bring up something from Patrick Walker, who kind of clarified a lot of as to what Mike McCarthy's been doing. So I put out, early in the game, I was like, McCarthy, you suck, because I was just like, I don't remember exactly which play it was, but I was pretty bent about McCarthy.
I actually have the text and I can read it, but I don't want to bum you out. So
I've had enough of that shit today. But no, so here's Mike McCarthy as a play caller. Now I know this is like something that's, not talked about enough, but pre-snap motion. So a lot of our shit's usually vanilla. It's usually up the A gap, B gap type shit, nothing outside, no stretch runs. So against the San Francisco 49ers, he had 19 offensive plays that had pre-snap motion in it. So get the defense guessing, 19. So that represented 39% of our offensive snaps. Against the Chargers, 62%. Against the Rams, 56%. Against the Eagles, 54%. And against the Giants, 61% of our offensive plays had some kind of something to get people thinking, get the defense like on their toes and shit. So all of a sudden, McCarthy is kind of cooking right now. Like he's not vanilla as I once thought he would be. He's got a lot of motion and he's got a lot of shit going on in that offense right now.
What's that compared to the rest of offenses in the NFL?
No, I'm talking about the decision making that he's making now. That against the Niners, we were just flat, didn't show anything as far as pre-snap motion. All of a sudden, we got guys running around on the field before we snap the ball. Is what I'm saying is,
so all those examples you've given were after the 49ers game.
Yeah, so he made adjustments. Is what I'm saying. Like he's made some adjustments on the offense. Now, we could say a lot about Dak. We could say a lot about the running game. I got to ask you, just based off the last 3 games, which again, I'll ask you guys a 2-part question here. Start with Keith. CeeDee Lamb. Do you agree with him being stuck in that game to get 2 more catches to get that record for the first time in the NFL? Like, sure. You're in there. You're all about the extra 2 reps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Now, where do you rank CeeDee now? He went out, he came out. He's not one to talk a lot, right? He's not a big talker. They even made mention that in the post game when Aaron Andrews was like, "I'm going to make you talk," right? Because like he literally doesn't like to talk. He came out the next day and said, "Look, I'm the best in the game right now. I'm the best receiver in football right now." Does he stack up with the rest of the guys right now, like the Jamar Chases and then Justin Jeffersons and the Tyreek Hills of the world, Keith?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't he? I mean, action. I know. You're just, but action speaks louder than words, bro. And he is doing both.
3 straight games for the first time in NFL history. 3 straight games with 10+ catches and 150 yards.
That's insane. I mean, when you have stats like that and you have production like he has every right to say that.
Brett, your thoughts on sticking him in the game when it was completely out of hand just to get him a couple extra reps and a couple extra catches? And do you think he's stacking up with the guys that we mentioned before?
I love it, man. I mean, now it's going to keep, the secondary, because prior to the Niners game, and I know CD I think he went to the coaches and said, "Look, you guys got to get me the ball more." And it wasn't more in a diva way. It was more like, "I'm open. Let me earn my, my money."
Right.
And Brandon Cooks has been playing great too, man. You know what I mean? So I like this. I like that now you're going to have to really know where CD's at You're looking at more double teams. It's going to open the passing game up definitely. Because I mean, again, prior to that, he wasn't getting the love like he's getting now, and he's really proven it. I love it because now it's going to, defenses got to double him. Yeah. They can't leave him alone.
Potentially, yeah.
He's got to be accounted for.
I think that,
and then that's why Cooks has been playing so good these last games too, man.
Now, something we obviously didn't cover in the last episode because it happened after was the signing of Martavius Bryant. Like, they get a big-bodied 6'4" receiver who can run a 4.4 40. So, like, he's going to – I don't know if he's even going to see the field. It might be a Trey Lance type deal where he's just there. Elevation, I don't know. But you said it best on the text, Brett, when you guys were still talking to me, was, the fact that Michael Gallup was MIA and then all of a sudden just a couple
I want to bring up Jalen Brooks too, man. That kid,
another one who just got him.
I love they called him up.
Yeah, he was activated, and so was the Deuce. The Deuce was loose because of Kevontae Turpin. Had himself a shoulder injury, so Deuce got to return some kicks. We all appreciate the Deuce chance as soon as he touches the ball, regardless of what the result is.
Anybody else we want to love in this fucking game? I mean you could have brought up. You could have brought up
Grinch.
You could have brought up my right ass cheek, and it could have fucking received.
Bro, let me tell you something.
150 yards in this game.
Let me tell you something.
Look, 172 yards the Giants had.
First of
all, they're playing with a fucking fourth-string quarterback. Their defense is depleted and tired. Their offense is depleted. Hey, and I love this kid. I love that kid. Yeah, we love everybody right now.
I tell you right now. I will say this.
What the fuck is your problem?
I will say this. I will say this.
Ever since he went to the Hunger Games, he's just a savage.
I will say
this. It's generic. It's over. It's I love this. I love that. We love it.
No,
let me clarify here. Let me clarify something here because this is what was annoying me. What everybody else was saying. Oh, we beat up on the Giants. There's more to just beating them up. When you're seeing the way the team is gelling and playing together, okay, first of all, it's the fucking NFL, all right? And again, just like we lost to the Cardinals, anything can happen. It's not like we played a goddamn arena football team and won and we're bragging. This is the New York Giants in the division, all right? Now, granted, they're on the ropes, but dude, just see the way the patterns were run, the progressions Dak made, the completions, the play calling, all of it. It's a great sign. I mean, the other thing, too, is you're coming off a big loss from Philadelphia, which a game that we fought hard for and we should have won. To see them come back and not miss a step. I mean, I'm looking at the progression and the crescendo.
There it is.
And this is what you want to see mid-season, man.
You do.
And those are great points, Brett. Those are awesome points, and I agree with that.
I also want to bring up the fact that had Keith's right ass cheek played quarterback for the Giants, it would have been closer. I'm just letting you know that's where we're at.
Yeah, at least you got two hairy Italians in there.
I was going to say, I don't know what's hairier, DeVito or my fucking right ass cheek.
Anyway, so look, Cowboys beat up a bad team. Congratulations. They're 6-3.
No, we won a division rival game.
Yeah, listen, you're never gonna hear me fucking complain an iota of beating the Giants.
You only complain when the game isn't in the beginning of the game. That's all you complain.
When we lose the coin toss,
you only complain when we're up 35 to 3, and you're still complaining.
You know what? Yeah. It's funny, Brett. Just so you know, me and my brother were telling my dad. I was like, not for nothing. It was around this time during the Patriots game where Brett looked at both of us like we had 4 heads apiece and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys? We're up 38-3, taking victory formation, and we're like, why did he run off tackle?" It's the same way, dude.
Yeah, my whole thing going back to the Giants is the only point I'm making is we're saying everybody looked great. Yeah, we know these players look great. I mean, it was very. I'm not taking anything away from the victory, but I'm also saying that it's over. Like,
okay,
and I think the way Brett broke it down is the way it should be. Yeah, we played great. We were, all those aspects he was touching on is so true.
Penalties were disciplined. We didn't have We didn't have a lot of penalties.
Exactly. But there's also something when you're playing a game where when everything is just going and you just feel the energy of the other team letting out and it's just everything is working.
You knew that.
We've been on the other side of that plenty of times.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you knew in this game where that was that one play where Dak, like, threw up his back foot, and my dad was like, he's throwing that ball away, and all of a sudden CeeDee Lamb just pops into the screen. It was like, all right, you know what? Like, everything is going our way right now. This is perfect. Game over.
Yeah.
You know, like, game over. Let's get this fucking win and get healthy. All right.
But you do understand, though. You do understand that these are the things that you want to see. And my biggest gripe in the beginning of the season was, yeah, we blew the Giants out. That was great. Then the Jets. Then we fall to Arizona. We didn't have consistency. Now, even with the loss to the Eagles, you're seeing consistency here. Yeah. And you're seeing, because you're going to lose games. You're going to throw interceptions. Again, personally, I'm not looking at the NFC East. I want that first seed wild card right now, because like we were talking about in the text, why those other games were bigger games and why I would say this is a win. I know.
Must win. That's still bad.
Here's the difference. If we beat the Cardinals, okay, right now with the AFC West, Seattle, we're going to San Francisco if the season ended today.
No, we're not.
We're going to be playing.
We'll be playing New Orleans. What are you talking about?
No, we wouldn't.
Yes,
we're the fifth seed.
Yeah, so that means
Seattle.
No, we would be playing. We were playing the Saints. We'd be playing the Saints right now.
We're playing the 5-5 Saints.
Yeah. So the 4 is going to play the 5.
Wait, Seattle's a number 1. Seattle's a number 1 wild card right now. We're number 2.
No, Seattle's behind us.
See, we're number 1 wild card right now.
Yeah, wild card starts at. Remember, the wild card starts at 5. So it's
let's
5,
go back
6,
to your
and 7.
must-win games again.
No. He just got them mixed up. That's all. But what I'm saying is, yeah, we'd be going to.
What I just sent you the other day,
which was from Blogging the Boys, which is a terrible fucking credited source.
No, NFC playoff picture right now. The Eagles are 1, Lions are 2, Niners are 3, Saints are 4. The wild card, Seahawks at 6-3 are the number 5. Cowboys at 6-3 are the number 6, and the Vikings at 6-4 are number 7.
So he's right. So yeah, so we might be sitting at the 6 right now. So and that's the case, then we go to San Fran.
So we would have to play the Niners.
Right. So that's not good. So we got to get up one spot.
Wait.
And not for nothing, Brett. We play Seattle the week after Thanksgiving, so that's a big game.
You got 8 fucking games left, so I'm your must-win or whatever the hell you're talking about. Still,
bro, I'm not saying it's gonna. If it ended today, this is what we have to keep. This is why you have to look at the big picture.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't.
You don't agree that if the season ended today?
I don't at all. I mean, you're bringing up what is all right. So what you're saying is looking at the big picture. All right, if we're going down the line and we're looking at all the games we're going to play, we still got to play Seattle, who's in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We still have. There's so many different games that we have to play.
That's a must win. That's a must win game for us.
Correct. That definitely is, considering how they're doing. So what I think Brett is saying is that if the NFC, and I don't agree with Brett here where he's saying the NFC East is out, because I don't think that's a thing yet.
I'm saying you have to assume the Eagles don't lose, and even if let's say they lose to us,
I can't assume that right now.
Let's say they lose one game by the end, and they lose to us.
All right.
Okay, we're still losing the East.
Right, I understand that, but what I'm saying is I don't assume the East is done as much as you do. I don't. I think that
2.5 games out.
No, we're not. That's the thing. We're not. We're only right now. If Seattle, let's just say we go out and handle business, which we'll get to the Panthers in a minute. If we handle business at Carolina, and all of a sudden Kansas City can beat up on the Eagles, which is very possible, we'll be officially 1 game out. I understand they beat us, but I'm not worried about that right now. We'll be officially 1 game away from first place. So therefore, all you would need to do is beat them and obviously win out and have the Eagles not trip up
Kansas City or no?
No.
No, we don't, right?
Not this year, no.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me say something,
Mm-hmm.
okay? This must-win thing is thrown around a lot, and I'm going to compare it to the race card, all right? People are always saying this is racist, that's racist, and it kind of like dilutes actual racism. That's what's happening with the must-win. When you hear me say must-win on this show to the fans, you're going to fucking know it's a must-win.
It'll only be in the playoffs. That's the only time a must-win counts is if we make the playoffs. That's all you're saying.
No, that's not. No. There's a must-win. Like, for example, in week 16, before we went to 18 games. We went to Philly, and if we win that game, we're in the playoffs, or we could still win the division. If we lose that game, we're completely out of the division and the playoffs with some weeks remaining. With some weeks remaining. That to me is a must win.
You know what's crazy?
So I'm playing chess, you're playing checkers, basically.
Yes.
I'm just saying, going through all these at this point of the season makes no sense to me.
Nah, see, listen.
I'm going to let you guys talk, and then I'll clarify.
But to say a must win so early in the season for a team that's way above 500 doesn't make any sense to me.
No. See, Keith, I think you're missing it. I think you're missing it just a little bit, because I know for a fact that when we play teams like, and I'm not talking about Carolina, and I'm not even talking about the Commanders, because I think they're going to be irrelevant in a couple weeks anyway. When we do play Seattle in 3 weeks from now, right, that is an absolute must win. Like, and that would be 3 weeks removed from now. So that mean there would be 6 games left after that, or 5 games left. That's a must win, considering where Brett wants to be. If we don't win the East, we got to be the 5. So the only way to beat a 5 is to beat Seattle, and that's why that game is a must win.
What I'm trying to say is we're talking about a game, number one, 3 games away. And by the way, that game is after Thanksgiving. And I keep bringing that up. It goes after Thanksgiving. I understand when you can start bringing this kind of stuff up. Fine. But 3 games away is after Thanksgiving, and we don't know where Seattle's going to be then. We don't know if Seattle's going to win the next 2 or 3. Fair. They could go 2 games or 3 games under us by then. Who the fuck knows?
We're arguing semantics. I'm saying when we play Seattle, that's a must-win for us. It's a very important game, because right now, if we're going to assume and play the long ball, okay, so we made our mistakes in the beginning of the season. If we're going to keep playing and keep progressing the way we're progressing, it'll look really good. I'll have a lot more
confidence.
Not faith, but going into the playoffs with this type of offense and the defense, the way we're capable of, and being the 5th seed in the wild card, that's where my sight is at now. Now, if we can win the division, that's great. That's great. But now it's out of our hands, basically. We have to hope Philly loses
a couple times.
And what I'm saying is when we're looking, we have to hope Philly loses at least 2 games, and then to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't lose again.
Which again, right? And Brett's saying we can't lose again.
One game, and then but see, we're doing if. If you're doing ifs, there's no must win. A must win is ifs are pretty much out of the fucking.
You're arguing semantics for no fucking reason.
No, I'm not. You're talking about you guys are talking about a Seattle game 3 fucking weeks from now being a must win. Because we have no clue. I mean, where's your must? You were just. What are you going to say about a must win right now? Is this game a must win coming up against Carolina?
No, we should win,
but it's not a must win.
No.
Okay, well, guess what? If we lose it then we fall behind in the NFC conference,
right?
And then the wild card is blah 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 blah, and then we get blah 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 blah.
So why don't we just call it how we call it?
I never said blah blah blah. I never said blah blah blah.
Just say that every game is a must win for you in the NFC right now.
Well, I mean, technically, every game is a must win.
It is though.
Then you're pulling the must win card. With that,
but
you're pulling the race card. Every game is a must win.
First of all, Keith, we are more than halfway through the season, and if we want anything that we want, you hear the Cowboys come out a lot saying everything's out in front of us. We know what we could do. All this other shit, blah blah blah. Right? There's blah blah blah. But what I'm saying is, going forward, 9 games into the season, now about to play our 10th game of the season. If they want the 5th or the division, every fucking game is a must win. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Listen
to me. This is what I noticed from this show. Okay.
What do you notice?
That you just usually fly off the handle for no reason.
No, you guys are usually way up top like you are right now. Oh man, everything's clicking. I love this guy and I fucking love this guy. Or you're at the bottom. We might not even make the wild card. We might not even make the playoffs. You look at me. I'm consistent through the show.
Yeah, okay? But what are you talking about?
First of all, I am very consistent. I'm not getting. You guys are so fucking giddy right now.
You have
bro. We're the same
bitch by now. What are you talking about? Consistent. You had a bench that fucking what's his name started.
You know what the best part about this?
That was a preseason prediction when we're having fun. Since the season started, I've been level-headed, okay, the whole time. You guys are all over the fucking place. One week we're not going to make the playoffs. After the 49er game, you literally said, I don't even think we're going to make a wild card. That's where you were at.
But that was then, Keith.
But now, hold on. But now you guys are talking about how awesome we are in this. Look, this is the same fucking team to me. As you can see, I'm not giddy about any of this. It's the same team. We get a loss. And guess what? We come back and beat the fuck out of a team. Wow, yeah, we haven't done that except the last 8 fucking times. It's the same team.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, bro. Dude, all right, we played it. We're all giddy about playing on we're losing a game in Philly. We lost a game in Philly, but we're excited that we played well. Oh, that's great. Dude, how many away games have we had this year?
Away games?
4.
A couple.
We beat the Chargers, which legit, that's a good win. We lost to the Eagles, and we got our ass kicked fucking twice on the road. Okay?
Oh, wait, the Jets were at home. Never mind.
Yeah, we got our ass kicked twice on the road. I need to see more with this team, with really good teams on the road.
Well, good.
That's what I need to see.
Good thing for the Cowboys that the big, bad, ferocious Carolina Panthers are next in Carolina. Okay, so we're about to find out.
I just don't understand why we can't just have a fucking discussion without you going all fucking off the rails, dude.
I tell you what, not for nothing. The way Keith just acted.
What the fuck are you angry about?
The way
we
Keith
just won 49 to fucking.
He's got the arrow.
I'm angry about. I get that we're happy, but it's like, you know, it's just a little too much for me.
Yeah.
It's just a little too much.
He can't handle the happiness.
Nobody's. All right, you've yelled enough. I'm going to talk now. First of all, I'm not saying
you never yell on the show. Stop it. You yell all the fucking time too. Go ahead.
Okay, you're right. I'm not yelling now. So, what I'm not saying we're Super Bowl bound. I'm playing it week to week, and I'm also checking down the road. Okay, what I'm seeing, I'm very happy with. And again, after San Diego, I wasn't as optimistic. I'm like, well, let's see what the next week does. You've seen 4 weeks in a row that this offense has played consistently well, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Even against the Eagles, we played really well. Our defense, I mean, again, I'll argue those referees. I mean, you saw the guy grabbing ass. Something's wrong. But that game was basically taken from us. And literally, we lost by inches.
Mm-hmm.
This next game that came up, and again, it exceeded my expectations. I mean, look, we're still going to win. We're still winning by 2 touchdowns in my prediction. I thought we were going to pace ourselves, get the running game going, get the confidence up. I had no idea Dak was going to pick them apart like that and see all the vulnerability in his whatchamacallit, in his progressions. I mean, dude, it was a beautiful fucking clinic in offense, which that's the best offensive game we've seen. Penalties wise, patterns wise, completions, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, it's now if we go to Carolina and shit the bed and it's a close game, you know, then it's a little, then now I'm back to where we were. But if we go in and say we win 27 to fucking 15, but we're operating on all cylinders.
So that's the Keith's point. That I'm saying that's the Keith's point when he said, if we trip up against Carolina, then I'm back to this. Right.
Thank you. That's my point.
So Keith has been here, and me and Brett are riding the roller coaster right now.
No, I'm a week to week guy, man.
I mean,
okay, well that's fine. That's what. All right, then you're admitting what I said.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
Then if you're admitting that, yeah. I mean, I am myself. You know what, Sturch? I got a problem here.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I just got a notification, and I went on. You're talking about my Hunger Games post, but you didn't like or anything. If you saw it, you can't put your little fucking thumb on there and hit a thumbs up.
I fucking like that post, you bitch. What are you talking
about?
No,
you're not. Your name is not on here. There's only 15 people.
Wait a minute.
You're not one of them.
Oh, man, you're right. I didn't. And guess what? Just liked it, my friend. Just liked it. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna heart hug it. I'm gonna heart hug it. There you go.
Oh, that's the care. That's the care.
I care about you. So anyway, with that, how about those Carolina Panthers coming in? The last time we saw the Panthers, they were doing wonderful things on Thursday Night Football, and by wonderful I mean nothing. The Panthers are a bad football team. I like their coach. I like Frank Reich. I think that the coach.
What is wrong with you?
I know, bro. I know when I get to my brother,
I
I can just see his face, and I just know.
I gotta know. I gotta know.
It's fucking hilarious, man. It's
it is,
dude. What the fuck are you laughing at? What the fuck? Where fucking? Oh, everything's a must win. Blah, 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 blah. And then fucking relax, dude. It's fine. Man.
I gotta know what fucking Thanksgiving dinner was like for a little while. Like,
Dude,
obviously, it's been a while.
Way, did we lose LVE for the season?
We did. There is unfortunately.
No, we're saying it's career ending.
It's career. It
right.
might be. Yeah, it might suck.
Yeah, his neck.
It sucks because it's like, yeah, we liked him. Yeah, Keith had a nice little nickname for him for a little while, but like, I thought that the guy played his heart out, and he was cool to watch because, he comes from Boise and he comes from a small school where, they were playing like 6-on-6 drills and shit. Like he was running the coast to coast. Great player. It sucks that it's going down.
It's good to have a veteran like that out there, though. But again,
100%.
I mean,
so
we've been doing fine without him. It doesn't mean that he's disposable.
I think we have a little bit more speed without LVE on the field. I think they brought up a lot of these guys that are now playing multiple positions. We got Marquise Bell out there doing his thing. Like he's still flying around the ball. Look, the defense is good, right? And you look at the Carolina Panthers who are coming in there, a hobbled running game.
You're really trying to get to this Carolina game.
No, I just well, there's
I'm going to use a word. I want to see if this set Keith off.
Oh man, already.
The problem, and I don't mean a New Jersey general, and I don't mean a General Patton, but to have a general out there, right? Because sometimes generals don't fight in the battle. But to have that experience that LVE brought to the table is it's definitely a loss.
You can't duplicate that. It's kind of how I felt about when Sean Lee was out there when he was in his heyday. I always thought like if Sean Lee's on the field, we have a good chance at stopping the run a little bit better when he's not on the field, right? There was games back in that day where if Sean Lee wasn't playing, we were fucked. You know what I mean? Like we couldn't stop a nosebleed. But yeah, Carolina.
Let's get to Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's not much to say about Carolina. They're a bad football team right now. They're 1-8 right now. I think they hold the fucking second overall pick. Well, the Bears actually hold their pick, so that's kind of cool for them, helping their own cause the other day. But there's nothing on paper that really. I believe they're 29th against the run. Like this might be a nice Pollard and Rico day if you want to. Like the way I look at this game, guys, I look at this game much like Brett was looking at the Giant game. I would love nothing more than to just get out of there with a 20-6 win and be like, all right, cool, good job, guys. You know what I mean? Like good way to establish this shit and do all this shit, like and just make things look good. On paper, fine, doesn't matter. Stat sheet and the fantasy nerds will eat that up. But like I'm thinking, to me. This is the kind of game that you have to control right away and just kind of look, the Panthers aren't going to come back on you. You know what I mean? Like if you get up on the Panthers, they're not coming back anytime soon. So that's how I kind of see this one playing out. Keith, when you look at the Panthers, Bryce Young, you guys are just fucking seething, or at least he is over here. He's got his arms crossed and everything.
I just love this kid. He's
for anybody who only listens to the audio.
But what's hilarious, both our arms are crossed.
Right. That's the best part. I was just going to say, for those listening on audio, Brett and Keith are like sitting back, arms crossed, like fucking smoke coming out of their ears.
I was having a great day. Everything was nice. I'm happy about the win. Looking at the stats.
The way this episode
almost broke a record.
The way this episode played out was as if we lost to the fucking Giants and the season's over. Like that's the way it feels right now, but it's actually feeling good. It's a feel-good show today.
I don't know if anybody ever has had that football coach where you won the game and then you come to practice on Monday and he makes you do sprints. Pretty much what happened.
There's an old expression, you kick him in the ass when we win, and you pat him on the head when you lose.
He's like, why is he making us do this? We won by 30.
It's like extra.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Extra podcast.
Before we get into this easy pick. All right.
Oh, here we go. You just said the Maloiki. Hey.
No. I didn't say easy win. I meant a pick. I'm assuming we're all going to pick Dallas.
No. All right. Go ahead.
Who, in your opinion, are the top 5 teams in the NFL right now? In order. Who's the number 1 team?
Me or Keith?
I've been looking at power rankings, and they have us over the 49ers a couple times. I don't agree with that at all. I still put the 49ers ahead of us.
Right, because they hit a slide. I mean, I guess this is the only game Christian McCaffrey hasn't scored in.
Which, by the way, did you see them trying to get him to score at the end?
No.
Oh, dude, the game's in hand. They're up 34-0 or 34-6. The game is over. They're on the 4, and they got McCaffrey in there. Mr. Injury-prone McCaffrey himself. They ran him 3 times trying to get in the end zone and get the record, and he missed it.
I will say this, getting back before we talk about the 5, we need more Lepke on those short yardages, man.
Yeah, we need a fullback. That's nice. It's a
I
nice
mean, just
thing.
give him the ball.
I don't know about giving the ball. Let him be fucking lead blocker.
No, give him the damn ball. That kid's got that second burst that I saw. All right, top 5 teams in the NFL.
All right,
we all agree Eagles are number 1.
I would go first. I'll go first. I'll say Eagles 1, Kansas City 2, probably Baltimore 3, Detroit 4, San Francisco 5. I'd say we're 6. Because what I'm looking at is balanced teams. And those teams are very balanced as far as offense and defense goes. I mean, the Dolphins have a fantastic offense, but their defense is suspect, for an example. You know, we're getting balanced and we're up there, but I put us at 6 right now.
I'm with the idea that the Ravens are definitely a top 5 team. I probably put them like, I guess, not for nothing. I'm not sold on this fucking Chiefs team. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because all the allure is around them and people are just talking too much about him. But just like, but I'm looking around and I'm like, man, if Kelsey's covered by any stretch, they don't have a reliable guy to even touch the ball. They don't. And it's like, I don't know, man. I just don't know if that's going to fare well towards the back end when they have to score a lot of points. And when I say that, if you face a Miami in the playoffs or if you face a Cincinnati in the playoffs or the Ravens, you're going to have to score some fucking points. And I think the Chiefs' offense has been kind of sputtering a little bit. I know Mahomes will put his numbers up regardless, but I don't know, man. The Chiefs are just kind of.
I'm going to ask you something about the Chiefs. So you're telling me if you take Kelsey out of the Chiefs, that they're pretty much done? Do you think Kelsey goes to another place and does as well without Mahomes? Say he was in. Say Herbert. Say he's with the Chargers. Does he do just as well with the Chargers?
No, because Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. We know what he can do.
That's what I mean. And the thing with the Chiefs, and I get where you're coming from, Sturch, because they're sputtering, but you got to understand this is just from the '90s Cowboys. When you're good all the time, you get complacent. You come out, you have the mark on your back. They're not going to look great every week.
Right. But
when they win, they have to win. And, and that's how I look at them. And their defense is really good.
Defense has been playing better, yeah. But when you think of the Chiefs, you think of the offense. And I think when I think of the Chiefs' offense, I think they're not as fucking dominant as they used to be, is what I'm saying. But my number 1 team right now would probably be the Dallas Cowboys. No, I'm kidding. The number 1 team I would say, by record, you just gotta go by the record right now. And it's the Eagles. They got 1 loss. That's it. They're fucking the tush pushing their way all the way to the fucking 1.
The 5. You got Eagles 1. Who's 2?
Eagles 1. I want to say the Ravens 2. Because I think like Lamar's that dude.
You don't have to tell a reason. Just go.
3.
Yeah.
Call me crazy. I'm putting the Cowboys 3rd. I'm putting the Cowboys 3rd. And I'm putting them over San Francisco because what I'm seeing out of Brock Purdy, if you guys don't want to hear my fucking excuses or whatever.
No, I'm not saying anything.
No,
go ahead.
I think that the 3 would be the Cowboys, the 4 would be the Niners, and the 5 to me would probably be Detroit because I think they're really playing a lot. They're playing fast football, and they've just been that good. So leaving off the Chiefs. Yeah, leaving off the Chiefs off my list and putting the Cowboys where you don't have them in the top 5. I have them as at least 3.
So it's funny because you have 4 NFC teams in the top 5.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? That makes the playoffs a lot more fucking fun.
It makes us nervous.
Yeah, it makes me nervous even saying it.
I'm saying this. I got Eagles 1, okay, Ravens 2, Chiefs 3, Niners 4, Cowboys 5, give or take Detroit at the round. Because, I mean, look, San Diego put 38 points up on them. Their defense, I think our defense edges them out. Their offense might edge us out a little, but not these past 4 weeks. But right now, the way we're playing, we're at 5. And but also think that if we played the Niners this week coming up, after these last 3 or 4 games,
we can win.
It's a totally different game.
Yeah, I agree. Now,
right?
But
you got to give the Niners their respect.
100%.
You got to give them their respect.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So we're a top 5 team.
I think so too. And it looks like Keith is like right there. You know, he's right there. You know what I mean? So that's great. But now I want to ask one more question before we pick.
That's why every game's a must-win. No, go ahead.
This is unanimous. Yeah, before we make the unanimous pick that the Cowboys should take care of business this week in Carolina, I put a tweet out there. Cowboys Nation loved it. Anybody who doesn't like the Cowboys hated it. Based off of this season, and stats are what you base things on. And I'm not saying he's going to win. But does Dak Prescott at least belong in the conversation of MVP this year?
No.
Wow. Okay. Keith?
No.
Conversation, meaning he might not get votes.
If he continues the games he's had since San Diego to the end of the season, absolutely. But I don't think not yet, no.
Are we talking up to this point, or what could be up to this point?
No, we're talking the 6-3 Dallas Cowboys.
CJ Stroud is playing fucking unbelievable.
He is.
Christian McCaffrey.
And I'm not. Listen,
he just said bringing him up in the conversation.
I'm bringing him up.
I think you can just brush on it, of course. Hey, the Dak Prescott's playing well now, but who knows what's going to happen.
None of the odds. None of the odds makers.
You always get that guy that gets the one Heisman, the vote for the Heisman. One guy will vote for him.
Well, I'm saying,
I can see that.
But here's where I get a little, I guess you could say butthurt. Like right now, as it stands, like Trevor Lawrence and Dak have like the best odds or the same odds to win MVP, and I'm just like, Trevor Lawrence looks like he fucking can't throw anywhere, let alone, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it makes me think like,
he just had a bad game.
Well, no, he's had a bad season.
So?
You know why I know that? You know why I know that? Because I drafted his bitch ass in fantasy football. He's my quarterback on 2 teams. That's how I know he's having a bad season. So
yeah, I have him in golf. So I've been starting golf. Yeah. It's been a little.
But what I'm saying is like people looked at me sideways. A couple of them like, what are you talking about? Like that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, just look at the body of work. In the last 4 weeks, he is literally first ranked in basically every statistical category against certain defenses, and it's just like
you got to look at when people are looking at you sideways. It's because they're saying, "Don't you know what happens to Dak Prescott later in the season?"
Of course.
It's not like if they hadn't seen him in other seasons, they might be like, "Oh yeah, you got a shot," but they're like, "Dude," they're probably thinking in their head.
It's a history lesson for me. Yeah, like, exactly. Remember that time? Thing. Like, okay, yeah, I remember.
He needs to prove everybody fucking wrong and just keep playing. Fuck the MVP right now.
I mean, if you could make the argument for Purdy over Dak at this point in the season. Like right now, if the season were to end, I think Purdy would be Dak might make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. And it's not just the stat thing. It's also, who's winning the big games, who's winning on that last drive, which we didn't
not
with
for
Dak
nothing,
against the Eagles, stuff like that.
Just playing devil's advocate here, but Dak didn't lose 3 games in a row this season. Purdy did. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, right now, then if you were doing a Pro Bowl selection right now, it would be Hurts, Purdy, and Prescott would be in the Pro Bowl right now for the NFC.
I don't know, man. Looks like Josh Dobbs has got something to say about that because all of a sudden this motherfucker can play football, which makes me feel a lot better about the Arizona loss, by the way. I'm like, wow, all right, this guy doesn't suck. Anyway, Carolina.
He's a good quarterback, that kid.
Hey, listen, and that's the thing. My dad even said, he's like, oh, what a great story. And I'm like, well, is it? Because, he's been cut from like 7 fucking teams. You know what I mean? So how good could he be? He's just catching fire at the right time right now. That's all.
Well, if you notice that with him too, let's see what happens. When he played for the Cards, when he was on the Giants game, he lit them up. They just came back. He beat us. And then gradually you get tape. You see what a weakness is. You look at the offense, and then I'm hoping not because I like the kid.
Did you hear that?
So let me ask you this, Sturchy. Let me ask you this real quick. So right now, if the season ended, you have Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts.
In
the NFC, you got Hurts, you got Jared Goff.
I know that you don't like this kind of stuff, but I am a stat guy, right? I am a stat guy to an extent. Yes, the Eagles are 8-1 and the Cowboys are 6-3. However, I look at what's been happening with Jalen Hurts, and he's turned the ball over a shit ton this year. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right.
I think he's leading in interception.
He's not leading, but he's up there, right? He's up there. You know who is fucking leading? Josh Allen, who's making fucking $80 million a year. But like, I just look at this and I'm like, all right, I would take Dak right now. Like, take away the tush push, take away all that shit. I think that Dak Prescott right now, you can make an argument. I'm not going to necessarily choose it, but like you can make an argument that he's better than Jalen Hurts. You can.
All I'm saying is, he's got to be the starting quarterback in the Pro Bowl before you can make an argument for him being the league MVP.
Well, I'm also the Pro Bowl.
And right now, he's not, in my opinion, he's not the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
That's fine. I'm cool with it. Like I'm not going to argue back and forth. Like a lot of people are saying Hurts is good, very good.
If he keeps playing this way, then fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But again, I'm the Pro Bowl. Make me a first team all pro and I'm all for it. Don't make me a fucking flag football quarterback playing volleyball on Super Bowl weekend and call it a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Sturch, you're nowhere near as good as my right ass cheek.
This is very true. That's very true. All right, give me scores. Keith, what are the Dallas Cowboys going to do?
I know, Brett. You guys kind of threw the Carolina game, but I do want to talk about it and the dangers of it.
The dangers of it. Go ahead.
Okay, so
it's our podcast.
Carolina has the 30th ranked offense in the NFL. Okay,
solid. Okay,
the one team that they beat, which we're not talking about at home, is a Houston Texan team that's pretty good. I bet everyone thought they were going to be shit this year, including myself, and they have one of the best quarterbacks, it seems, or in the NFL right now, rookie or not. The Texans have a good defense. I mean, they beat them at home, and this was only 2 weeks ago. Okay, and what one reason why that happened, I think, is because Bryce Young, right, and C.J. Stroud 1 and 2, right. It was one of those things where this game really meant something to Bryce Young to win this game. Like, I want to show up this number one pick. So that's their one win, and they beat a good team. It's not like they beat a shit team. They beat a good team in the Texans, okay? This was only 2 weeks ago. They've had some games that have been kind of close. But once again, 30th ranked offense versus the Dallas Cowboy defense, which I think is ranked third. Let me check. Yeah, third. That right there is, you look at it and you're like, okay, there's not a shot. But when it comes to Carolina's defense, which we're not talking about, a defense that, one thing that we could bring up, with this will be a good test for Dak because playing good defenses on the road. Philly has a good defense as well, but, Philly's defense is what, 15th or 16th in the NFL.
Where's Carolina?
So people don't realize. Yeah, it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Where's Carolina?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 14th. They're 14th in the NFL, Philly.
All right, so where's Carolina?
I'm about to tell you. See, I did my research for that. I'm not just looking at it and saying, oh, this record and that record, this team sucks. So here's my thing with this game. All right. This is the best defense the Cowboys are going to play in an away game this year. Out of all the defenses we played, this is the best defense in an away game besides who? The 49ers. But the crazy part about that is the 49ers give up 305 yards a game. Carolina only gives up 308. So it's like a 3-yard difference, dude.
You also have my defense to that is where Carolina's playing their football games, meaning they're playing Tampa, they're playing New Orleans, they're playing Atlanta. Their schedule's a little. They're playing Chicago.
49ers haven't played. 49ers play the Rams. They play who else? The friggin' Cardinals who beat our ass.
Seahawks.
I mean, they play some team, but it's the NFL. So regardless, where their defense is where it is.
Yeah.
They're right under actually the Jets. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're 7th ranked defense. Okay.
Interesting.
Our offense has climbed.
Which is why
I think we're like 5th ranked right now or something.
Which is why I want to assume that the spread is 11 or was it's 11. 10. Okay.
Yeah. So we have the 4th offense.
It's 10.5.
10.5. So like
on MGM.
We can't. Now here's the thing with this. Once again, you can't go in with the mentality that the Arizona mentality, because this is more similar to the Arizona game than any other game we played. You can't go into to this game thinking we're 10-point favorites, we're double-digit favorites. We gotta beat the shit out of this team. We gotta, we need to come in this game, friggin' once again, control the clock. I know it sounds crazy. We can blow them out, everybody, but control it at first. Let our defense rest. Let them try to make plays.
I will say
Let
this.
our defense give him the rest to make the plays, and then we can take off and win.
I will say this. If the Cowboys, for whatever reason, the game's at 1 o'clock, which to me, on the East Coast, 1 o'clock game, so right now it's going to be 12 o'clock over there, whatever. It's sluggish is what I'll say they could possibly start out as. But if the Cowboys come out of that locker room wearing blue jerseys, it's over.
You with the jerseys. That's so funny.
By the way, you know what's funny? I was like, fuck, the goddamn red stripe is on their helmet. And at first I'm like, man, and I thought about the Atlanta game like 2 years ago. And I was like, man, we fucking stink with the goddamn red stripe on our helmet. But the last time we had the red stripe on our helmet, we put up 50 plus on the Colts. So I was like, oh, never mind. And then we put 49 up. So now wear the fucking red stripe for the rest of your life.
What's the Atlanta game you talking about?
No, I'm sorry, Denver.
Okay, yeah, because we beat Atlanta the next week.
Yeah. Denver game was rough. But anyway, so what's the score here? Are we winning this game or what? Because
I'll go last. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, all right, going last. All right, the dynamite analysis. I like it, and now you're gonna leave us in suspense. Okay, what's the score, Brett? We covering the 10?
Just make your prediction. What is it?
No, I'm not. I let you the other day. Just go ahead.
Go. Here we go, Brett. What is the score of this game? Or we're covering the 10 or not?
I mean, it's 10.5, and
we're covering the 11.
Again, since it's in Carolina, if we were in neutral ground, it would be 14.5 points.
So 2 touchdown favorite.
Dallas would be favored.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
So 2 touchdown favorite. Yeah.
Keith brought up the defense, which again, it's going to be a decent test for us. I want to see us do what I wanted to see. Again, I wanted to see it against the Giants, but there was just too much opportunity in the way Dak played. I would like to see a slow and steady game. I want to make it balanced, have the run, develop the run game more, get that going a little bit. I'm looking at maybe 24-10.
24-10. Okay. I like it.
Dallas.
That's a 14-point win. All right. So since Keith wants to go last.
And yes, they'll cover.
All right. So 24-10, they cover. So now I look at the Cowboys coming off now an absolute beatdown of the Giants, your valiant effort with the Eagles, your good games against San Diego. So they're playing good football in the last month. I want to say that continues. I think they're hitting a stride. I don't necessarily love the Cowboys when they got to play on grass fields. I know this sounds stupid, but it just seems like a little slower as far as getting your traction and all this sort of shit. You're on the road. I don't think this is going to be what the Giants was at all. I think the Carolina Panthers will struggle to score points. I'll give the Carolina Panthers 13 because I'll say 2 field goals and some kind of touchdown somewhere along the way. I don't know if the Cowboys run away with this, but I'm going to put up a 24 spot too. So 24-13, the Cowboys win this game by 11, covering it by a point and a half or a half a point.
We have to be careful too, man, because, as you get into these types of games, obviously we all agree you can't take it lightly, which I don't think they will. But, injuries, you got to, there's so many things you got to factor. So again, don't do nothing crazy. Just get in and get out with the victory.
I agree.
And keep the momentum going and pull our starters. If we're in a big head, if we're up ahead, in the third quarter, just, let
I don't know if you could do that. I don't know if you could do that with your score. If you think the score is going to play out like that and we're only up 14, nobody's getting
if we're up 24-7 or 24-3 in the fourth quarter, yeah, I think we
21,
should,
but yeah. Okay.
Put in deuce.
Deuce.
Because listen, you got to understand when you're up big, they're going to get a touchdown.
Yeah, I know. It's garbage.
Right. When you're up big, you're all of a sudden you're in prevent. It's just yeah.
Keith, man of the hour.
So one thing I was looking up too is the weather. And it's going to be a beautiful day in Carolina. 62 degrees.
Wow.
And
look at that.
Yeah.
That's
great football weather.
Gorgeous.
So with this game, I always think of Kyler Murray, right? Especially with the Bryce Young. They're very similar to me.
Short.
And Kyler Murray is, even with Parsons on our team, we've had problems with that kind of quarterback.
Mobility, yeah.
Regardless, that mobility, short little guy that likes to run around, like a Fraggle. And he and so that does worry me with our defense. I think our defense is gonna play well. But I could see their offense sustaining some drives. I could see and I also see our offense, which is starting to scare me, going down the road of pass, And if we start falling behind a little bit, you know, I hate to bring up old games, but I just see games where we've played away where our offense starts to sputter.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick and just ask you if this game reminds you of another game from last year. Does this give you the feel at all of the Jaguars game?
No, because the Jaguars game, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
You know what it gives me the feel of a little bit is the Washington game.
Which one?
The final one.
Oh, okay.
Where we were 9-point favorites and they beat us by 10. And our offense couldn't do shit, and Sam Howell was starting. But anyways, his first game. But regardless, that's what these kind of games remind me of. I think I'm not going to say upset here. I'm not. But just knowing how this team is, I say we win, and I'm going to say I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what I say because, you know, you guys didn't give me credit for the last time.
Oh, Jesus.
But this time I'm saying it's going to be a close game, something like 17-16.
Oh, don't do that to me, man. That's going to ruin my fucking Sunday.
I can see us winning like kicking a field goal.
And Sturch, if it is close, it doesn't mean we suck. Okay?
It doesn't.
But you know what? Not for nothing. Not for nothing. If we beat the 1-8 Panthers by a point, yes, the national media will say the Cowboys still say.
The national media.
I'm just saying what they're going to say.
It depends right now.
It depends on how we win and how we lose, right? Now, look, we could win. Obviously, we'd want the W. But if we get a sloppy win, that's more concerning to me than just say if we lost by a point, but we were playing great, we didn't get the calls. You know, anything can happen.
You look at what Bret always says, too. Finding a way to win at the end is signs of a good team.
It's always a good team.
Sure.
So I mean, forget who cares what they're going to say about you, dude? The national media, they're always going to be riding us and saying this and that. And who cares? Just get the win. Just get the friggin' win and get out of there.
Let's do
okay, because you know, fine. They beat the Texans. Look who the Texans beat. Texans beat the Ravens. So, right.
And look,
so
you watched Russell Wilson
game that stupid game people like to play, but it doesn't matter when you're on the field. It doesn't matter when you're on the field, and you know, especially you got to remember, Carolina knows the Dallas Cowboys are coming to town, bro.
Yeah,
that's another thing. They're coming to fucking town. They proved they could beat a good team in Houston.
I think there's going to be
we got to play these factors.
I think there's going to be a heavy Dallas Cowboy fan presence in Carolina.
It doesn't matter. The players know that might even piss them off even more. It's just like Jacksonville. In fact, now you can relate it to Jacksonville. We took over Jacksonville Stadium. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, the players, you know, they get amped on that. I still remember the one Jaguars score in Jacksonville and telling their own crowd to do this. Shh. You know what I mean? Because they were mostly Cowboy fans cheering.
Weren't you there?
So I was there.
Yeah, you were there. Were you in the pool?
It was an awful game.
Were you in the pool?
Would have been the greatest weekend ever if we would have won.
Were you
one of the greatest ever?
Were you in the pool by any stretch?
No, we did not get the pool.
No pool.
My buddy got good seats, but not the pool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, look, it's a consensus. The Cowboys win all three across the board. Keith thinks it's going to be a little closer than what we would like. But again, good teams pull it out. So let's see if the Cowboys can get to 7-3. And of course, the next time you talk to us, we'll also know if the Chiefs took care of business against the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll see that on Monday night. And then,
God forbid we win by 30 or more points. I don't want Keith to be mad next episode.
Yeah, Keith. Listen, bro. If we have another route win, just, you know, maybe take a Xanax or something right before the show. You know, maybe calm it down just a little bit. So anyway,
I'll tell you, it's that Hunger Games hangover.
It is. That's what I'm saying. He's the archer. He's like Brandon Cooks right now. He's just fucking archery and fucking Hunger Games. Just fucking. All right. So for Dave Sturch, Brett, and Keith Ernst, this has been another episode of the Jersey Boyz Podcast. Be sure to rate, subscribe, do all that fun shit that you do on the line, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey, this is Tony Soprano, and you're listening to Jersey Boyz Podcast with your hosts, Dave Sturchio and the Ernst Boys. I mean, I could give a shit about the Cowboys. We're in New Jersey. These guys got balls being Cowboys fans in Jersey. Anyways, enjoy. Well, whatever.
How about this,